The following morning, still no go on the balloon flight. I got a call from my friends Pete and Tony to meet them this afternoon in Guildford, where the winds would be more favorable for a balloon flight. I had time to kill. I decided to see a few more of the city sights. Tired from yesterday's walk, I decided to take London's excellent public transportation.
The tube is a nice way to travel, but I think I'll experiment this morning and try the bus. I'd like to go to St. Paul's. Here's my bus now. Double-deck bus. This is the only way to travel around London.
First stop is the magnum opus of the architect Sir Christopher Wren, St. Paul's Cathedral.
This is St. Paul's Cathedral. They say that the dome is only second to St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. During the war, none of the German bombs were able to hit this place. They call this a bomb-dodging dome.
Not only is this masterpiece considered his finest work, but it is also his final resting place. From St. Paul's, I head towards the bankside of the Millennium Bridge.
This is the Millennium Bridge. The locals call it the Wobbly Knobbly Bridge because it swayed so much after construction. They spent another £2 million to correct that, and it works well right now.
Bankside makes for a pleasant stroll along the banks of the Thames. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre is one of the many attractions to be found here. I hopped in the London subway, affectionately known as the Tube, to visit the shopaholic haven that is Oxford Street.
Oxford Street is the place to shop.
From there, it was time to take a train to Guildford, a 45-minute train ride away. En route, I spotted the smokestacks of the famed Battersea Power Station, another of London's iconic structures. I meet my old friend Pete Bish at Tony's house in Guildford.
That's great that you've finally made it for your visit to England.
I met Pete 20 years ago while he was flying the British Airways balloon all over the world. Tony is a retired Concorde flight engineer who now runs a ballooning business. He has visited me in the Philippines, and it is my second time here in his home. Tony operates a large envelope balloon with a carrying capacity of over 20 passengers.
This is what I would call a 747.
After prepping the equipment, it was off to the launch site in nearby Surrey.
So we're right behind the Squirrel Pub here in Guildford. Sarah's organizing the passengers, and we're trying to get all these balloons going.
Even here, the conditions weren't ideal. The decision was to wait until early evening when hopefully the winds would have died down. We spent the time catching up and exchanging stories. Of what? Why, flying, of course. It seems we never run out of things to talk about. After much debate, it was deemed that wind conditions were too risky for this evening's flight.
Well, what do you think, Tony?
Well, it's still coming through too gusty.
Yes.
We're not sure why, and that's one of the reasons why we wouldn't go tonight, is because we can't understand what's going on.
That's why I like flying with you.
It's not forecast. Chances are in 20 minutes time it'll all drop out, but that's the way it goes, and as I've explained to all the other passengers, that
Yes.
Safety is the most important thing, and we can do it again.
We retired to Tony's quaint cabin and consoled ourselves with some pizza and beers. It was still a great day in my books, but like teenagers with an oversupply of energy, the Guildford gang decided to let me have a go at the hopper balloon when the wind died down. The following day, Still no go on the London flight. I decided to drive to the city of Bristol. I drive across its famous landmark, the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Designed by Victorian architect Isambard Kingdom Brunel. At 150 years old, it was originally designed for horse-drawn carriages. Another of Brunel's creation may be seen in Bristol Harbour.
This is another of Brunel's creation, the SS Great Britain. It's the first steam-powered ocean liner.
Bristol is also the home of Cameron Balloons, the largest manufacturer of balloons in the world. I was met by Nick Purvis, who took me on a tour of the factory.
So this is our technical office. All the designs for the balloon are generated here, whether it's for the fabric panels or whether it's for the baskets, the burners. For the envelopes, this is the starting point. What we are doing here is cutting the graphics for the envelope, the artwork side, to go on top of the balloon. So this is a automatic cutter, so you can see the sort of level of quality that we've got. So after we've cut the lettering and done the printing of the images, the rest of the balloon is cut conventionally from our ripstop nylon here, which is specially developed for Cameron balloons. So all those cut panels that you saw downstairs arrive up here in a bin. This is where we make the engine of the balloon, yes. Our burner. Burner controls are really quite straightforward. You have a couple of handles to let the gas through the valve. You have a pressure gauge to tell you what the pressure of the gas is. Of course, underneath your balloon, you need a basket. And so we have our own basket trimming section here. The baskets are actually woven about an hour to the south of here because there's a tradition of basket weaving in Somerset. This is the last element of a balloon, and that's the fuel tanks. We've seen the burners. Well, they need a lot of fuel to do a typical...
The huge ones.
Absolutely.
Tanks are getting bigger and bigger.
So we have 80-litre tanks, we have 60-litre tanks, and we have the smaller tanks.
I also had a chance to chat with Don Cameron, the owner of Cameron Balloons.
Don, it's already the 40th anniversary of Cameron Balloons, huh?
Yes, it is. It's a long time, 40 years. And of course, we've grown in that time. And we started building in the basement of the house I was living in to begin with, and then gradually built up. When we took this building, we only occupied part of it, and now we fill it completely. Many changes in that time. Computers, of course, weren't available at the beginning.
Yeah.
And now we use computers extensively in design.
Don, thank you very much for spending time with me. I enjoyed my last visit here, and I continue to enjoy seeing the different things. Things are improving in our part of the world, and I hope that we can encourage people to buy and start flying more balloons in our part of the world. So thank you, and I hope you can come and visit me.
I hope so. Yes, I hope so.
When Asian Air Safari returns,